All right, I want to give you a little progress report. And what's fun about this website, it is a living, breathing entity, and these numbers change literally every single day. So this data is correct as of about 2 days ago. There are about 250 award-winning artists who have come into the site and posted projects so far. There are now 200 artists in the pipeline. So our pipeline gets bigger and bigger and bigger as we get out and talk to people about the opportunities in the website. There have been 360,000 visits, and there are 12,500 active members of the community. And Amata talked about that a little bit. The community is made up of folks like us who are donors, arts leaders, arts supporters, you guys as artists, as well as organizations that support artists. So this is a sort of ever-growing community that is getting updates from us about, topics of interest to the arts. And, certainly the donors are in constant communication with those artists who they're supporting. Of those 12,500, 8,300, and growing every day, are donors. Now, this is a good data point I want to bring up to you. This is the percentage of projects that are funded. So if a project got put up in our first 6 months, we went live about, it was last December, I think, 75% of those projects funded. In the last couple of months, we've gotten better at the cheerleading that we do. We think the artists have gotten better at the outreach they do. And now that is 91%. That compares to Kickstarter, which is 40%. The average project size is about $9,000, but we've gone as high as $50,000, and that was Andrew Bujalski's film Computer Chess, which just funded. And some projects are as low as $2,000, so you see a real wide variety. Now, in the next month, we'll be putting the biggest project up on the site, which is yet another film from Nina Menkes, and she hopes to raise $200,000. So if we can sort of break up into that barrier, we know it'll have a big impact for you guys, particularly as filmmakers, because of all the disciplines we support, you guys need money more than anybody else, more money more than anybody else. We've raised over $400,000 now in matching funds. The average donation is $154. This is huge for microphilanthropy. The average microphilanthropy gift is $25. So not only are we reaching all these people, but they're giving more than a lot of other kinds of microphilanthropy sites. And so far, we've put over $1.2 million into artists' hands from the site. So we're really excited about these are early results, sort of 9 months in. I talked about earlier about our project partners. Many national organizations like Creative Capital, National Performance Network, the Paul Krasner Foundation, which supports visual artists, emerging visual artists, lots of regional organizations, the Pew Charitable Trust, California Community Foundation, Rasmussen, and Austin, I think you would land national, regional, kind of both, right? You guys are all over the place. I want to talk a bit about our matching funds, and this is really something we're super excited about, and it's a part of the program that's building rapidly. I literally closed $100,000 in matching funds in the last week. The California Community Foundation, this is a regional matching fund. First one here, the green color. That was a $20,000 fund, supported any artist who lived in LA County, and that money went very quickly. That was gone within about 6 weeks. This is kind of one of our favorite funds. The second fund is called the Artists to Artists Fund. One of our board members is a visual artist named Mark Bradford, very successful painter. Mark won our award 6 years ago. He won the MacArthur 2 years ago. And he's been very involved in the development of the site. And he said, I want to do something where artists can support each other. He said, I'm going to sell a painting for $100,000, and I'm going to turn around and give you that money to kickstart this fund. And since he's done that, the fund has grown to $220,000 and growing. So other artists are putting that fund in. And you heard Mata talk about, we've noticed this sort of tentpole phenomenon in the giving patterns of the projects. So you guys put a project up, and you're reaching out to friends and family and followers, come support me. The gifts are coming in, and then there's a sort of a dip. And then at the end, we're going to close, send the money today. So there's this funny dip in this fundraising timeline. At 25%, if you've gotten to 25% of your goal, Artist to Artist Fund kicks in and gives you $1,000, either 10% of your goal or $1,000, whichever is sort of less than 1,000, I guess. And that's been hugely successful, and it funds every single project on the site, which is great. The Annenberg matching gift, this was one donor giving money to one project. So there was a $15,000 donor, gave a $15,000 gift to a project that ultimately raised $30,000. The Rasmussen Foundation, another regional organization, they only fund artists in the state of Alaska. And they're about to put up another $25,000 fund in the site. And then that USA, that's our own matching fund. We use that for testing different ideas as we're sort of watching matches, what works, what doesn't. That's been sort of a testing fund for us. Perhaps our most wonderful partnership is with, let me go back, with the Austin Film Society. We got to know a donor here in your community who anonymously made a $60,000 gift to support filmmakers who've come out of the Austin Film Society, who've won awards to the Austin Film Society. And the results have been just outstanding. $42,000 has been funded now out of that fund. It's supported 16 projects. That's resulted in 321 donations. It's been 100% success rate. So every single artist who's come through the Film Society, their projects have funded. Total impact, all dollars in, Brian, $240,000, which is fantastic. So, and that fund's got, $18,000 more to be drawn down from. Also, any artist coming in, like I said earlier, you'd be funded through the Austin Films, through the Artist to Artist Fund. So you'd be getting a minimum of 2 matches in the site, which is kind of fabulous. I want to do a little dance around the country just to give you a sense of kind of what's going on with different artists who've posted projects. This is our hometown of Los Angeles, Southern California. San Francisco and the Bay Area, just some of the projects that have been put up there. Seattle, Alaska. This is Andrew McLean, the filmmaker who won our fellowship a few years ago. Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, North Carolina, through the Penland School of Craft. That's a big craft center there. New Orleans, and Austin. So this just gives you a sense of all the really great projects that have happened. Mike Dolan, Heather Courtney, Ann Lewis, Bob Binghamton, Sam Douglas, Paul Gordon, David Harstein, Bob Ray, Jeff Marslet, and Andrew Bujowski. So far our biggest project funder. So USA Projects is free to you. All the services that we give you are absolutely free. We have a fundraising share with USA Projects. 81% of the money you raise goes directly into your hands. 19% stays with USA. About 10% of that is put toward the education and the programming that we do to support you in your efforts to raise money. 5% covers our credit card and bank fees. And 4% goes right back to USA's mission supporting the greatest artists in the country. So it's a very mission-based kind of organization. I think of this as this sort of perfect circle. One of the things I want to talk about in terms of the artist training, what we are doing with you is we are allowing you to build your own personal database of donors, as Amada said earlier. And we're all about philanthropy, and we're all about getting money into artists' hands. So what that means is that once you put up a project, you submit a very simple final report to us. We keep everything real simple at USA for you. And then you can put up your next project. So in fact, we've got artists who've put up 3 projects already in the 9 months that we've been up and running. We want this to be a tool for you to be able to use for the rest of your lives. And as your career grows, so grows that database of donors. And also we know in philanthropy that giving grows with age. So a person who's giving you $100 today could give you $5,000 in 10 years because our careers are growing and we're making more money, presumably. So that's a kind of wonderful thing. This is all driven off a major statistic in philanthropy, which is that of the $300 billion that is given in philanthropy in this country every single year, 90% comes from individual donors. People think, oh, it's the corporations, it's the big foundations. No, it's, grandma putting $1 in the till every Sunday, all the way up to Warren Buffett giving Bill Gates $34 billion for his foundation. It's all driven by individual donors. So we are teaching you what we have, as organizations have been doing for years. So this is a tool for you to keep building that database of donors for your own work.